Trevor, fourth game in a row, you guys have had a lead on a pretty good team at the half, and just what changed in the second half that just unable to close it out?
Like you said, that's 4 games in a row now. We're up at halftime. We feel pretty good about ourselves, and I don't know if that plays a role in it or not. But those other games, those came down to the wire. We kind of lost those in the last couple of minutes. But tonight it was all rebounding. We got kicked on the glass and offensive rebounding. I don't know how many they had. That's obviously on me being a big guy down low. I got to get some more of those boards and just close that game out. If we rebound, they don't score near 89 points tonight, and we get a nice, easy win, I think. All our offensive rebounds just led to putbacks. They weren't just grabbing offensive rebounds and getting another shot. They were getting an offensive rebound and scoring. So I think that was just the biggest thing tonight for us.
What were the things you were doing well in the first half?
We talked about at halftime. Those first couple minutes we were getting inside the paint. We had quite a few points inside the paint, whether that was getting to the rim with our guards or getting it down low to Flack and I or whoever it was. That seemed to be working, and we were rebounding in the first half. They got a couple offensive rebounds, but they weren't getting them like we were doing. It wasn't our defense tonight. It wasn't, I guess rebounding plays in defense, but it wasn't necessarily our defensive scheme that lost us the game or anything like that. Our offense, we scored 84 points. We just got to close that out with rebounding, I guess, is the biggest thing we took away from the game tonight.
Brandon, what made those guys tough? Obviously it's a pretty strong program.
Yeah, they got some big guys down low. 7'1", 6'9", 6'8", and they're all very athletic. Their point guard's obviously very good as well. They got a well-balanced team. They use their size against us effectively, like Trevor talked about, really out-rebounded us, and they gave us a good game today.
Trevor, do you think teams, like Brandon said, with that kind of size and length, does that give you guys, particular problems?
I guess you could argue that tonight, but if you look at Wyoming, we were out-rebounding those guys both times, and they're just as big. They don't have 7'1" down low, but across the board, they're a big team for us. I think it's just tonight, I don't know if we weren't checking out or whatever, but we weren't getting it done on the glass. But yeah, in the future, I suppose height could give us some issues, I guess. Brandon's kind of short.
You talk about those second chance points. Those obviously were a big deal. 20 of those, but 42 points in the paint too. Just they're getting that dribble penetration on you all night too.
Yeah, obviously Sykes, he's a pretty explosive player. He can get in there and create some shots, but obviously 20 of those points in the paint came off just tips. They're good. Their size, obviously, they like to get it inside. We knew coming in they weren't phenomenal shooters. We tried to keep it packed in, but I guess we just kind of got beat up down low, and that's a team effort. We talked about we needed a team effort to guard these guys, and I think that's probably the aspect where we failed tonight. But it was close. We were close. We're getting a lot better. Hopefully, we figure out how to close out these games, and we'll be a pretty tough team in the future. So,
yeah, Brandon, kind of along those same lines. Do you take anything? I've heard Joey say, I know you guys don't accept the moral victory. No athlete does, but at the same time, do you take anything? What positives can you take out of this 4-game streak where you're hanging with these teams that have bigger programs that are more established at Division I than you are? And this is a team a lot of people think is going to go to the tournament, maybe win a game or two. So, what can you take from a positive standpoint out of this 4-game stretch?
Well, like you said, we've played some really good teams recently. I thought we competed really well. We've been within a couple points with all those teams, and we seem to be leading in the first half after all these games. We just got to learn to close it out. So we know we have the ability to do it. We just got to put it all together and have better defensive second halves. Start closing out these close games, and then we'll be good. But gaining the experience from these really good teams and getting these non-conference games in early is definitely going to help us in Summit League play. I'm not knocking the Summit League teams by any means, but there's just some good teams we're playing right now.
Trevor, you had these tough games a row, 4 in a row now, and certainly the potential would have been there for you to throw in a clunker. But it seems like you guys are pretty resilient so far this year as far as the effort part of it.
Nothing against last year's team, but if you look at a year ago, these last 4 games, those are probably all lost by 15 plus, which isn't saying anything bad about last year's team, but like you said, this year's team, we're a resilient group. I mean, we're all still bought in. We come work every day at practice. The morale's still high. We know we're playing tough teams. Like this team, I think they were 12th in the mid-major poll. I mean, these aren't easy games. Like they're not going to be, just easy wins that we have to pick up. I mean, we have to play hard every night, and I think it's good, for being a senior like that. I see that these younger guys are still working hard every game. I mean, it'd be pretty easy. I know freshman year I kind of got discouraged. It can be easy for those guys to give up. These games we're playing Kansas State, 12th ranked mid-major team. You could get caught up in that hype, but these guys, we're fighting. We're trying to win these games. I mean, you give us a couple more games against these teams, that are preparing us for the Summit League, like Brandon said. No disrespect to the Summit League teams, but I think we're going to be really well prepared once we get into league play. We got another good game against Morehead State, Youngstown State. I mean, those aren't, easy wins on our schedule, So I think that's good. Obviously it looks bad on our record right now, probably for the fans, oh, shoot, the Coyotes are 3 and whatever again. But, I mean, if you look at the quality of teams, Coach kind of related to it. These aren't irrelevant games, but, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we're working for March. And if you look at St. Bonaventure to tonight, I don't know if you guys got to see that St. Bonaventure game, but, I mean, we've made leaps and bounds from that first game to where we are now. And I think, from a program, a leader, a captain, Bos and I are captains, I think that's the best thing that we can take away and keep these guys moving forward in all these games. And, don't look back. We got to keep moving forward and stay positive because, like Coach said, we got a chance to be really good here in a couple weeks, once we get into some, get into a routine with some conference teams. So, I mean, that's a really big positive for us right now, I guess.
1 or 2 more, please.
Thanks, boys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.